Hey everybody, Nate Carter here with today's Cornerstone Connection Daily Devotional, and I've got a question for you. What do you live for? Okay, I know it's a huge question. Of course, you're not going to just answer that on the spur of the moment like that. But it's a good question, and I went through an exercise recently that I thought was so helpful in thinking through that question. And it's built off the verse from Philippians 1:21, where Paul says, "For to me to live is Christ, and to die is gain." For me to live is Christ, and to die is gain. And here's the question that was asked, and it's not my own. I actually got this from my devotional that I've mentioned to you before, which is called Through the Word. And if you're interested in that, just look up Through the Word Ministries. They go through book by book, chapter by chapter throughout the entire Bible, and it's so helpful. But this is what the host said on his Through the Word devotional. Fill in the blank. For to me, to live is blank. Okay, so what would you put in that blank there? Perhaps if you would think about one of the things that most of our culture would seek after, for me to live is career. Well, if to me to live is career, then to die is loss. For me, the natural one that I wanted to put in the blank immediately is family. For me to live is family. So if for me to live is family, then to die is loss. Well, what else could we possibly put in that blank? For me to live is success. For me to live is money. For me to live is knowledge. For me to live is education. For me to live is accomplishment. In any of those cases, then to die is loss. There is nothing that you can put in that blank that would not end up with death being a loss of that thing. And so Paul instructs us, for me to live is Christ, and to die is gain. If we put Christ in that blank, if we live for Jesus in everything we do, then to die is only to gain, because we're with Christ forever. We're in his presence, and we're experiencing eternity with him. If we live for Christ, then dying is gain. Now, take all those things that you wanted to put in that blank. For me to live is career. Well, use your career to advance the kingdom of Christ. For me to live is family. Well, use your moments together as family to invest in your family, teaching them about Christ and how to follow him. For me to live is whatever ambition it may be. Use that to advance the kingdom by living your life to live for Christ in those ways. So I invite you to take that exercise today. Take some time, turn off this podcast, and just think through what you would put in that blank, and just be honest with yourself. It's helpful to first be honest, so that then you know in which ways you need to correct. For me to live is blank. Fill in that blank. And then when you think about that blank could fill, think about how you could use that ambition to further the kingdom of Christ and to live for him. So I hope that this encourages you today. I hope this gives you a real healthy ambition for living. Living is Christ, and therefore to die is only gain. We'll see you next time in the Cornerstone Connection.